What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Kaka Isaac channel. It's actually the first channel in internet history to only make classics. I just keep pumping out classics, it's ridiculous. If you can't tell, I just took a shower, so my hair's wet, but that's alright. Today I was feeling the vibes. I thought, let's go in, let's show you, let's show me. Let's look at all the vinyl that I purchased while I was in Japan. If you don't know, I was in Japan for about 3 weeks in the summer. I posted some vlogs on that. Japan has a super dope vinyl scene. I bought like 40, 50 vinyl, I don't know. A lot of them were for friends, but a good chunk of them were for me. If you don't know already, also, I'm into the jazz fusion and the city pop like any American is now these days. Everywhere you went, there was at least 1 or 2 vinyl stores. CDs were a lot more common, in which I got a lot of those as well. CDs there were definitely more of a bigger commodity than the vinyl, but the vinyl scene was not small. Definitely bigger than it is here in Utah. Let me grab the stats. Alright, without any further ado, let's get into the collection. I have it organized by artist and kind of genre. This isn't organized in the order I bought them, but just so you know, the first half of the trip was Osaka, and the second half of the trip was Tokyo. Actually, the majority of that I got in Osaka. So I got most of it on the first half of my trip. Masayoshi Takanaka. This is probably the most albums from any artist I have in this collection of about 40 records. These are brand new pressings and remasters of Insatiable High, Seychelles, and Takanaka. It just came out while I was there, so I could go to Tower Records in Shibuya and pick them up brand new. Remasters and cutting, they were done by Alex Wharton. Yes, Alex Wharton at Abbey Road Studios in London, and these cuts sound so good. The covers look great. I do, of course, I have the sash, but I took it off. For some of these albums, I took it off just because I kind of had them hanging up, and I was like, I'll put the sash on the back just because I kind of want to see it without the sash. Especially this one, it's a darker blue in person than it is on streaming services. Of course, you know Seychelles, but these other two are right there with Seychelles as being some of the best jazz fusion albums, especially Japanese jazz fusion albums. So that was cool. Those are new albums. Most of the albums in here are used. Next up, we got Rainbow Goblins. This one is used. I got it at Shibuya. Yeah, of course I had to buy Rainbow Goblins, and I found this on one of the last days I was there. I was glad I finally picked one up. Great album. If you haven't listened to it, it's not on streaming, but I recommend you give it a listen. Next, I got Super Selection 2. Yeah, super cool cover for this one. It's got some great songs. One of the songs in here I had never heard before, but it's in there, and it's pretty cool. I had to pick this one up. It was super cheap. It was like 400 yen or something. Next I got Can I Sing? And yeah, I do have the plastics on, but I've listened to lots of these records. I just like to keep the plastic there, it keeps it. Super beautiful cover for this one. Also pretty cheap, I think 1,200 yen for this one, and it still sounds great. This is a Takanaka Christmas single 12-inch type of thing, and I didn't know it existed, but I got it for 500 yen, and I needed to grab it because I was so curious because I never heard of that. Next I got Traumatic by Takanaka. I actually got this one for free. One of the stores I went to a lot, and about my 3rd time there, picking up some more vinyl from that store, he gave me this for free, which was dope. It's not my favorite Takanaka album, but it's cool I got it for free. Next I got Horizon Dream. It's another kind of compilation like Super Selection 2. This is Horizon Dream 2. It's got some classics, Space Wagon, Malibu, Brazilian Sky. This is a good compilation album. Next is T-Wave. Got this one for, I think, 1,000 yen, which was pretty damn good for T-Wave. I'm a big T-Wave fan. It's not appreciated as much as some of his other albums. I think it's really good. Next I got a Super Takanaka Live. This is an original pressing. It was only 500 yen, so it is pretty yellowed, but yeah, pretty cool live album. They actually remastered with the first 3. They remastered this as well, but I picked that up and gave it to my friend, and so I have this original pressing one. I don't mind to have the remaster for that one. But next, Jolly Jive, another classic from Takanaka. Finger Dancing. This one I picked up in Osaka. I love this album. I love this sash here. Colors are crazy. It's a good one. But here's Alone. I got this one for 300 yen or 400 yen. yeah, I was super excited to get this album for that cheap. I love Alone. I love the song Alone. I think it's so awesome. Next, I got 2 records from Sadao Watanabe, My Dear Life and California Shower. These are great albums. They're more easy listening than they are fusion at points, but they're pretty great. Those albums were kind of everywhere when you're looking for jazz fusion. Next up is my Casiopea records. I have Makeup City. Whew, this is a good album. Kira Jimbo on the drums here, kills it. Issei Noro on the guitar here, kills it. I got 4x4. This one's pretty used. It didn't have a plastic thing. And this sash is old, but it is, I think, an original pressing. These album covers are all so great, man, and this album only has bangers. Last up, I got the first 2 Casiopea self-titled. This is I have the sash, by the way. I just took it off. I like it better. It's very clean, no sash for this album cover. But this is an album that, it's a classic. And this is the 3rd pressing, I believe, the orange disc. I love this album. This album is really good. I was on the verge of making a review like I did with the Takanaka albums. I haven't yet, but I think about it. I think about it sometimes. And then Super Live. This is also just as good, almost just as good as a self-titled album. And next up we got, this is the only Tatsuro vinyl I purchased. I did get 2 CDs from him. How could you leave Japan without a For You vinyl? They had these everywhere. I wish I would have bought Right on Time, but this is the only one from him I got on vinyl. This is somewhat adjacent because Tatsuro plays the guitar on this album. This is Awakening by Hiroshi Sato and Wendy Matthews. Man, I love this album. This is a classic. Real Kaka Isaac fans know I covered Blue and Moody Music. Yeah, this album's a very, very important album to me, and I'm glad I can pick it up on vinyl. It was also repressed on vinyl, so this is a new vinyl. Next up, we got 4 Shack Attack albums. We got Into the Blue, we got Invitations, we got Golden Wings, and we got Nightbirds, baby. I do have the sash for Nightbirds again. Man, this album is a freaking classic. I love every song on here. It's produced so well, and I just love the mixing here. Next, I got Prophetic Dream by Akira Inu. This album is so sleek. This album cover is awesome. I love the colors on here. The way the album sounds is how this album cover looks. Yeah, Spectrum 1 and Spectrum 2, of course. I love the Spectrum group. They produce some good jazz fusion. Personally, I like the second one a little bit more than the first, but they both are really damn good. I got 2 albums from The Square / T-Square. Very iconic, amazing group. Both of these albums sound so incredible on vinyl. I wish I could show it to you guys. It's there's a warmth here for these pressings of these old jazz fusion albums that sound so good. Next, I got Jamiroquai, a little bit different. Emergency on Planet Earth. I kept going to Tower Records over and over again, and walking past this and thinking I should get it, but I didn't never pick it up. And then on the very last day, I picked this album up. Glad I did. I don't own any Jamiroquai albums on vinyl. This is a good one too. This is probably my 2nd or 3rd favorite from Jamiroquai. Too Young to Die, man. Come on. Are you kidding? In Flight by George Benson. Love when they put the sashes on the American albums. This is a great album. If you haven't listened to it, please give it a try. Wes Montgomery, A Day in the Life. Picked this up for super cheap at a disc union. I love this album. I also got a shirt with the album cover on it while I was there. So I, of course, had to buy the vinyl when I saw it. And I'm glad to have it in my collection. No Fuse by Naniwa Express. Love this album, love some of their other albums as well. This is the only one I got from them, but also sounds so good on wax. You guys can't smell these albums. They all have this very distinct smell to them. It's kind of weird. Beyond by Kiyotaka Sugiyama. I had never heard of this album. I just listened to it a couple days ago, but it was like 200 yen. And I thought this album cover looked super sleek. And I'm glad I picked it up. It was super cheap. It's a good sounding album. I liked it. I picked up this Daft Punk One More Time single and remixes and stuff. I have every Daft Punk album on vinyl. They are my favorite group. So of course I had to buy this. I had never really seen this at a disc union for pretty cheap. Last up, we got pretty big stack of music by Makoto Matsushita, or his group, the ABs. First we got ABs 1 and 2. I love ABs 1. This album is so good. It's like it's next level this album as well. Whew, good album. Got this one for really cheap, it was used. I got a Pressures of Pleasure. This is I think a remaster, remix that they put out recently. So this is a new album I bought. It's a damn classic. The Rain Child and the River King. I got Paradigm Shift. This album is super cool. It's the Makoto Matsushita sound, a little bit more prog, a little bit more experimental. Next we got Quiet Skies, one of Makoto's solo albums. Last up we got, of course, you know I have it, First Light. I'm so glad I picked up this album. If you know the channel, you know this is like one of my favorite albums ever. I'm super glad that I got to buy it. I also picked up a single, It's Love Was Really Gone, and the First Light song. So you know, I'm a mega fan, and I'm glad I got to get everything. I really didn't think I'd be able to find this much stuff from Makoto, and even Takanaka. I didn't really realize just how big they are, and they're still not massive. Not everybody even there really knows, and a good amount of people there preserve the music and sell it, and are happy to talk to you. They were all incredibly nice and really interested in the fact that me as a American, they were really interested in the fact that I was there kind of for that. They don't realize that here in America, slowly but surely, people's ears are coming wise to the Japanese jazz fusion. The 70s and 80s in Japan, they were going way harder than they needed to. I absolutely love all this music that I bought. I'm so glad I got to like add a whole third to my vinyl collection. And it's all this jazz fusion, Japanese city pop. So glad I got to get it. So yeah, that's basically it. See y'all in the next